What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us for the week 9 of the World League Fantasy Football Podcast. Again, I'm Sam, and we have us, Mr. Rob. Rob, how's it going? I understand you had the day off today.
I did have the day off, so it's going great.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Um, let's take a look at the standings real quick, Rob. Some low scores from last week, but no really big surprises here. Everybody is good still. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a week of the haves and have-nots, but real quickly here, Sabs, who was going to join us on the call this week, kind of figured it was not in his best interest to talk about his, I don't know, that's kind of like a Yugo dozing of Burn Maniacs there, 122, but he's stretching out a little bit there, 7-2, two-game lead, looking pretty good. Moose Knuckles, we'll definitely get to that game, although one team showed up. Looking pretty good. Yeah, looks like we got a couple playoff contenders right there. Gangrene hanging by a thread, not doing myself any favors by keeping a 54-point lead, but over Silky Squad. And Wolfpack, he's back to relevancy there, right? And
Yep.
Then we have Burn. And Nutsack's just running away with it. So, and Sticky Bun and Straight LA looks like that's going to be a battle probably for the wild card there. So, but I will point out that we do have us a new season high score. It no longer says, heroes for hire down there. That kind of was a surprise, man. I looked in there and went, whoa, that's a lot of damn points.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I want to recount.
I don't know, man. I think Kate scored that one. I don't think we screwed that one up by 30 points.
Okay, all right. Let's hop right into it. I didn't have a chance to do your predictions, but you did go 6-2. You did go 6-2 last week, so you're doing very well for last week.
Yeah, one of the games I lost was, I actually picked myself for the first time like all season, and of course I go ahead and lose.
I was going to say that, Yeah, you picked yourself, and maybe I'll do a little funny thing right here and play your quote from last week about you beat him. So anyway.
Well, let's just be real. Okay, we'll get to my game when we get to my game, but it wasn't the worst score on this board here, all right?
No, definitely. And speaking of that, there were a few pretty low scores this week too. But we'll definitely get to that. But Rob, let's start off with the first matchup here. Very good friends of ours, defending Chump versus Wolfpack here, and like you just said, Wolfpack is making a run here.
Hold on, just clarify. Very good friends of whose?
Of all of us.
Oh, I don't like either of these guys. I had the displeasure of sitting at the bar there with them and watching their game all day, and I would say one of our competitors was very happy, and one of them was he seemed a little melancholy throughout the day. So it was you choose too, but I guess the scores kind of give that away. It's a pleasure sitting with Scott at the bar all day because he'll sit there and second guess himself all day. I should have started Lamar. God damn it! You're like, I hate you, man. God, shut up. So not a good week out of him. Wolfpack sent me a text, so he said he's only 60 points off the high score. I was like, well, geez, man. I mean, only 60 points. 60 so if you only had like two more quarterbacks going, you would have been there, right? So,
he said 60 points. Wait.
He's not really flirting with it here, He's at 173. He's not even one of the three highest scores on the week, but he was flirting with it, everybody. He's just 60 more points. So.
Oh, Todd. Yeah, 60 points from my high score back then, but yeah, okay.
He had a nice week, though. I mean, D'Angelo Williams, that was a great pickup, obviously. So, I guess you hang out in last place long enough, you get the cream of the crop there on the waiver wire, though. So he's, looking good. Jordan Matthews, comes through with that big touchdown at the ending there, really bumps his score up. Nice week, man.
Yep. I was fortunate enough being the fourth pick on the waiver wire to pick up D'Angelo Williams last week, so that was pretty sweet of me there.
That's because over in our division, we don't have people that just foolishly drop marquee players out there, which would cause a feeding frenzy at the Drew Brees sweepstakes that occurred last week over there, which allowed him to fall to you. Over in ours, you basically got to be just dead last place. So
Yep.
I think Bruin was probably. I think he's probably disinterested at this point, and understandably so. He'll be back with a vengeance one day. But Wolfpack was able to grab him, so which is good because Ronnie Hillman looks like he's probably done for just doing anything for the year. So.
Yep, and Scott's still holding on to Randall there, just in case. Scott, let's make a move.
He's just convinced that he needs quarterbacks. I mean, that's all he thinks about is quarterbacks. I got to find a quarterback. And I'm like, dude, your running backs ain't that damn hot, But, anyway, enough of that game.
Yep, let's go to Heroes for Hire versus Silky Squad. This is, I wish I can get bad beat of the year. 161 and loses? Come on, dude,
Well, again, Todd was only 60 points off the season high score. Jesus, you were only 54 points or whatever it is off the bad beat award. I think Scott's going to have that thing locked up, man. So, it was a good week. Again, D'Angelo Williams rears his ugly head there, and you did win that frenzy. I think a point we like to kind of dwell on with your team here, it kind of affects me too and maybe anybody else on the team, but, dude, Phillip Rivers, he doesn't have any live bodies out there receiving for him anymore. And it's getting kind of scary there. And we all know Peyton Manning's just not going to do anything. So Julio, he hasn't scored in a while. I don't know. What's your love affair with Barnage here? I don't
have you not looked at his stats? I mean, this is probably his only one bad week, and that was because Johnny Manziel was starting.
Yeah, no, Sam, I haven't spent an awful lot of time looking at Cleveland tight end stats.
Okay,
they're not going to be that remarkable.
He's second to Gronk in fantasy points.
Oh yes, I expect him. He's probably the next second coming of Calvin Johnson, freaking 2011, right? So we'll watch for that. No, I know he's got decent stats. I'm not that lost.
Yeah.
Who the hell were you playing? Silky Squad?
Silky Squad.
Well, on this team, Silky Squad, man. I've been saying all year that. Dude, he's got a better team than I do, and I jumped out there a little bit early. He's the rightful heir to first place over here, and especially with the injury to Andrew Luck, it's just a devastating blow to Gang Green's chances, and mix that in with my shit running backs. This guy's got the team to beat, and he's sitting out there running Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr right now, and looking really fine up there. I mean, the wide receivers, you got to be a little worried, though. Big Ben goes down again.
Yep, Antonio Brown. Yep.
And we were talking 3-4 weeks ago, I think, with Michael on here saying, dude, I'm not sure he's going to be coming back from that foot injury so quick. And sure enough, he's back for a game, looks tired, slow, the whole nine, doesn't look healthy. And he goes out there, and that hit didn't look like much. I mean, his foot roll, which just tells you, he's not healthy. They moved him out there too quick, and he's done. And obviously that's murder if, 2/3 of your starting wide receivers last week were Pittsburgh Steelers. However, if you put the Oakland Raiders defense on the field, they'll still allow, a 60-yard pass from Landry Jones is his name, right?
Landry, yep, Landry Jones.
I mean, it's a ridiculous game out of Antonio Brown there. I mean, 47 points, and again, no touchdowns. So it's like, what? How can you get 300 damn yards and no touchdowns? But what an incredible game. So he's I do believe the Silky Squad is now commencing his ascent to the throne of really a shitty division here, but maybe he can rise above it. So.
Yeah, his two receivers on bench there, Diggs and Eifert, they had a great week too. He has a really strong team, Rob. He
does. He has a good. I've been saying it all year. It's not him. I've been singing his praises forever. I'm going. I don't know. Gang Green may be sitting up there theoretically in first place right now. Our last few weeks. I mean, straight up. Hey, I've been around this game a long time. I know when I don't have the best team, okay? And I don't have the best team. The guy's got the best team in the division. So I might be a little nervous about Wolfpack jumping up there, Yeah. I mean, it's we're not walkovers out there necessarily, and I don't plan on just, giving it to him. This isn't my concession speech, but, Jesus, I mean, it's a good team, man. It's a running back. I mean, look, he's even got Todd Gurley for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a good team and a great week for him. 209, it was huge. So if he starts Eifert out there instead of, I don't know. Maybe Bryant. I mean, he probably flirts with the high score too. I don't know what Easter's final numbers were. They're around 30 something, I assume. But
yeah.
Nice week, Silky.
All right. Speaking of the other good team, Mr. Gangrene versus Kelly Knights.
Yeah. Well, I've been bitching all week. It doesn't matter if it's a cross conference game. I get everybody's A+ team regardless. So it's another fine week. He's so desperate for a win, he's got to run two quarterbacks out there, and he gets me by 14 points. So it's and that's I guess if you need a win, you need a win, and I mean this guy needs a win. Not bad. He's got the flexes to do it. I mean, Breeze kind of fell out of the sky to him there, so I mean, good for him. It's just I don't know. I've been kind of twisting around in my head. I was really torn on whether to flex out. Cobb or Blount, but it turns out the decision was to not start Jeremy Hill, who just is, I don't know, man. I mean, outside of Eddie Lacy, he's got to be the bust of the year, at least at the running back position. And if you can't do anything against Cleveland, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So,
yep. And
Langford was a nice pickup.
That was a great pickup.
Blount's looking pretty good now that Deion Lewis is out, even though I think those guys are kind of interdependent of one another, but it's, I don't know. The Vernon Davis thing I threw as a bone to my kid. He's convinced he's going to do something. I didn't really care his $5. I should make him pay me $5. But enough of me. Steve, really, dude, it was 47 points out of Drew Brees, and Chris Ivory continues to do his thing. I mean, horrible. I think he's 2-2-0-20. So he gets the ball around the end zone and gets it done. And at this point, Emmanuel Sanders, I mean, it's either if Peyton is going to actually throw that, what's turning into a once-a-month touchdown, it's going to go to him because has anybody seen Demaryius Thomas in like the last, 6 weeks, at least on the fantasy board? I'm sure he's doing great possession work out there, but, nobody cares, right? So, yeah, good week for him. He had enough.
Yep, and I see you started Mike Evans too. It looks like he's starting to blow up too for you. Yeah, because I dropped him a few weeks ago. So yeah, you kept him and you started him looking pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'll ask you. Have you seen Mike Evans' stat sheet?
All bad until what, the last 2-3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I mean, how long do you think you're going to keep a guy like that down, dude? And especially you drop him going into like a really beautiful part of his schedule. But that's neither here nor there. I'm sure that Scott appreciates your folly. So
yeah. How long is Luck out for? You think? 2 to 6 weeks? No, but that's like 2 to 6 weeks. That's like a broad range.
That's like the rest of the damn fantasy season, right? I don't know, man. He's got what? He's got a lacerated kidney, which knocked out Keenan Allen for the year, right? So I guess that Luck's wasn't quite as deep as Keenan's was, right? I mean, it's a freaking lacerated kidney no matter which way you cut it. Then he's got an abdominal tear, which would usually keep most players out 4 to 6 weeks minimum, right? Not to mention he's had cracked ribs all season, a jacked up shoulder, and, the team's going nowhere. So,
they should hold him
after the waiver wire. I don't think I'll be going with no quarterback next week. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, look at that, guys. Luck will be available to pick up.
I mean, grab him. He should be ready to go by week 15, so he's all yours. He'll make no difference. Bury him, please. Silky Squad, you need him right now. Drop Aaron Rodgers for him, man. You need to clear up those flexes. So.
There you go. Advice from the commissioner right here.
Good sound advice right there.
Let's go to Stabs versus Bruin Maniacs, one of the lower scores of this season. I don't know if it's the exact lowest score of this season, but it's pretty low there, Rob.
You want me to make comments on said game here?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We have to do it. Let's talk about Stabs and a quick rundown of Bruins. We got to, Rob.
Well, Bruin had one healthy wide receiver, one wide receiver that wasn't on bye this week, right? And
Oh, you're right. I didn't even see that. Only one wide receiver. Oh God.
He's got Carlos Hyde that's injured. Flacco was out. I mean, dude, when Cody sent his email through his dad's starters, I was like, man, you really messed up. And I didn't even see his final sentence, where he basically said everybody's on bye. I was like. I look over, I go, oh, my God, everybody's on bye or hurt, So it's, and yet somehow we managed just to still start Eddie Lacy instead of Rashad Jennings. And, and yes, 51 is our low score. I do believe that beats David. I think it was a 64 earlier this
that's a quarterback adjustment score, Rob. I think that's what it is. It's that.
Yeah, well, let's adjust this team without the quarterback, and we're at 24 points, okay? So, that's, yeah. So, but on to better things here. Savs, sits down Andrew Luck in really in a game where he should sit Andrew Luck down, and he ended up putting up, pretty much 2015 Andrew Luck numbers, which is around 30 points, most of it in the second half. He actually played a complete game, and then, just because he had to play all 4 quarters, he's going to be out for the next 2 months. But, let's not dwell on this game too much. Savs had a nice week, good enough to win. Not that nice of a week. It was good enough to win. He got the matchups in there. He's got a good team, and, he's beating the teams he should. He didn't need to do much there. He didn't do some foolish, run, flex out Luck and some, frogging, I've got to do this. Dude, play the matchup, you win it. Nice week. And he'll have better weeks than this and has had them, so not much to see here, guys.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Moose Knuckles versus Straight LA here.
Game of the week.
Yeah, we said this was the game of the week from last week. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't turn out to be much of anything. So Moose Knuckles walks right on through, loses Roethlisberger, but he's still got Brady, so who the hell cares there, right? He's got Langford sitting on his bench. Loses Dion Lewis, got Langford to bring in, okay? I don't know why he is Frank Gore still, but I think Frank Gore he might have scored last week, but again, nobody cares. He's got, dude, he's got the depth, he's got the team. I mean, when you got Randall Cobb and Brandon Cook sitting on your bench, and you're still scoring 145, you're okay, Yeah. So he's rolling right along, and in the Straight LA, he'd been red hot. What was it, 6, 7 in a row? Let me go over here and look real quick. I think it was. He had won 6 games in a row, and he was due probably for just a week where it didn't work out for him, and that was this week. So, 6-game winning streak interrupted. I guess we should just pile on and talk how horrible the team is here, but
Dion Lewis is gone, right? So.
Yeah, he'll be okay. I mean, it's hard enough to win 1 game in this damn league. Forget about, 2 in a row is great, 3 in a row. I mean, you get up to 6, and you're like, yeah, okay, man, I'm cool. So he's fine, man. He's just, he's got to worry about coming back into his division there because you got 4 good teams in that division. And, we kind of shortchange Nasty Habits sometimes a little bit just because we're used to shortchanging Nasty Habits, with his as his performances there, but he's even kind of hanging in there. That's not a walkover win, so it's Straight LA. It's not his week, though.
Yeah. All right, let's go to one of the lower scores again: Reds Nuts versus Sticky Bun.
Reds Nuts, Sticky Bun. Well, 163 for Sticky Bun. Cam Newton, who was playing, I know they're gonna hand the MVP award to Tom Brady, and probably the comeback player of the award a year or two because he had to deal with all that in the off season, and I don't know, maybe he gets defensive player of the year too. Who knows? I'm sure he'll get the Art Schick award and everything else. But Cam Newton, man, is playing some damn good football, man.
Yes, he is.
Ripping down banners, and it's. Newton is one of those guys that I just don't really have that high up on my fantasy list. And every year, he just has some good games, and that's a 46-point week, But, poor Sticky Buddy loses Roethlisberger again. He's got Melvin Gordon on his team, which I can tell you.
You can speak from experience.
Yeah, he's getting to the point where he's running out of players. About this point, you're going to be running out Cam Newton and Beckham and Gronkowski and hoping for the best. Other than that, it's looking pretty sparse over there. I mean, Stevie Johnson, Pierre Garçon.
Brandon Marshall dropping down touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, LaShawn McCoy, is he even starting anymore? Does it even matter? He had a nice week at 27 points, but it's like,
his backup did better.
Yeah, he's a better running back, it's at this point. But he, enough to win, and Rub's nuts. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, David has to be, thrilled. I think he had 2 guys that fell below his score this week. So this is, my God, man. I mean, if it wasn't for Fitzpatrick and Gurley, this team's probably running at 0. I mean, it was not not a good week. Green Bay up there in Carolina, I guess, is the better start. And, it's not a dumb start. You don't start Indianapolis against Denver. Then again, if you've seen Peyton Manning play, maybe you do. Not bad. Jeez, man. I mean, that's a rough week for Mr. Revis there. So
yeah, Michael Floyd got injured pretty early on in the game. That hurt,
Gilman I mean, again, how much can we talk about 64.5 points? I guess hey, just think about it. If he would have kept Breeze, that would have been 2/3 of that score right there. So
yeah. Yeah, that Breeze drop. And Rob, this is why I don't want to drop Peyton Manning, because if you recall when Don dropped Brady a few years ago, right, because of his performance, as soon as Don dropped him, Cody picked him up and Brady just blew up. And I'm afraid that's going to happen with Manning. So that's why I don't want to drop him.
First of all, let's correct your history here. That was actually Michael that picked him up and absolutely catapulted him right into the playoffs that year. Don got a little fickle. Here's the big difference, so if we want to talk about that for 2 seconds. Tom Brady was like 28 years old at that time, and that team was good, and it was an unknown move. Peyton Manning, dude, there's not going to be a feeding frenzy for him. I mean, just prove my point, Sam. Drop him, and just kind of watch everybody go, and check out, Todd's pickup list next week, and go, oh, man. Yeah, I mean, who are you gonna drop for him? I mean, maybe Blake Bortles by New Denver, and even then you're like, I don't know, man.
There's no way. But
now Breeze kind of came out of nowhere. I don't want to beat up on Mark anymore on that one though. Let's let him slide on it, even though he does drop a guy playing against the third worst pass defense, and then. He's actually playing the next week as opposed to his other guy who was on bye last week. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Mark. All right, let's go
to love you, Mark. We love you, Big Daddy.
Let's go to a real high matchup right here. Close game: Golden State versus Nutsack 3.0. Boy,
man. Go ahead. What do you got on this one? Golden State's has got no damn luck, dude. He's freaking 1-8 with almost 1,200 points, 171 points, and he still can't buy a win. I mean, it's almost unfathomable at this point, man.
Oh, jeez. He gave Nutsack a run for his money, too. I mean,
he really did, I mean, and I'm sure Nutsack wasn't that worried about the game going in, but if you look at Dave's roster, it's still, I'll tell you what, this guy drafts good, dude. He really does, because it's still a functional team out there, barring a single pickup.
Mm-hmm.
Putting 171 points out of the draft, he's running at 1,200, and that's, aside from Tay, who we're talking about here too, just absolutely running away with the season high score. And Sticky Bun hanging right there behind him. Everybody's right around 1,200, or below. We do have, unfortunately, Burn Maniacs, who has not quite eclipsed the 1,000 mark yet. But that's, he's at 968 right now. Give him another 2 weeks, and I think he might get there. But it's just Dave, no luck, man. I mean, Nutsack, he's got a great team. We're going to be talking about him for several more weeks. He's clearly the team to beat. Straight LA may be able to give him a little something in there. Silky Squad may, if he can get, Roethlisberger healthy in time. But, I mean, he's on cruise control right now. I mean, he's rolling 8-1. Who the hell beat him? We'll find that out. It wasn't me. I played him in 2 weeks, so there's another win for him.
All right, let's go to our final matchup. The new weekly high score, New Denver versus Nasty Habits.
Well, let's give our little tip of the hat to Nasty Habits right here. 147.5 is pretty good. Really decent game and everything, and he's hanging in there pretty good. He really is. It's a little bit of patchwork, but not too bad. I don't think I'd really bring up the catch smile on his team is Jeffrey. I mean, does nobody in the league know to cover Jeffrey? It's like every week this guy's blowing up. He's 300 plus yard games in a row or something. And they have nobody else out there.
I made a comment to Tay about Alshon Jeffrey, watching him play. That cornerback was small compared to Jeffrey. I mean, Jeffrey's huge. I didn't realize how big he was.
Oh, he's a big guy, man.
Oh my gosh.
He's a talent, dude. No
Yeah.
question. I mean, they brought him in there. He's a talent, but it's a nice week for Nasty Habits. He's kind of hanging around the equation there. He's a couple games back, but he can get on a run and he can get there. And again, he can probably start next week against Game Green. But let's go over and just kind of get through this with you. New Denver, let's see, 76 points out of the quarterbacks, right?
Yep.
LaShawn McCoy, Gio Bernard. I mean, he recovers from Gio Bernard. Antonio Brown, Jeffrey, Eifert, he started him. Silky, unfortunately, didn't. Goskowski and the Jets at 24 points. You got a 245, which, may or may not hold up. It's getting cold. It's interesting. It may or may not hold up. I don't know. It's a very nice week for him. Brings him completely back into relevancy over there. Actually jumps him up to 4-5, second place there. And really what is an extremely wide open wild card race. I mean, you have to figure Savs and Moose Knuckles are looking really, really, really nice at this point for the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which will make for a good game anyway for us to talk about. And, after that, Chump, Heroes, New Denver, hell, even Rev's Nuts can get hot. Hell, even Kelly Knights can get hot, even though he's got Breeze now. You just never know. He might roll off 3-4 in a row. So it's open. Golden State heavyweight, though, he might score 270 next week, and whoever he's playing is going to put up 271. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Speaking of whoever's playing, let's talk about next week's matchup, Rob. Who do you got versus Nutsack versus Wolfpack?
Oh, Nutsack.
All right. Yeah, he's hot right now.
You want me to talk more about Nutsack at this point? No.
I think we talked about it. Yeah.
Hey, just say Nutsack versus one of the other 15 teams in the league. I'm going to say Nutsack, okay?
All right. All right. Straight LA versus Silky Squad.
Woo! Man, that's a good game right there.
Yep.
Let's take a quick gander at that. Silky Squad, Rogers, Carr, man, dude, they're going to be pulling it out. Two really good teams here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even saying, and no offense to David, I mean, Silky, it's probably because I have to play this guy. He's in my division. I pay a little more attention to him than Straight LA there. It's just a nice-looking team. However, I'm going to give the nod to Straight LA. I think the injury to Roethlisberger is going to hurt him a little bit there in his wide receivers this week, and I'm going to take Straight LA.
Straight LA.
Get back on the horse, man.
All right. Gang Green versus Nasty Habits.
Nasty Habits takes it.
Oh. All right.
I was thinking myself again. Next.
Yeah. Sticky Bun versus Bruins. Should I just check it for you?
No, not necessarily, man. I mean, we were talking earlier, Sticky Bun is like, dude, he's got like two functional players out there right now. It's Beckham and Gronkowski, but you know what? Beckham and Gronkowski, I don't know. Beckham might be on bye next week. I don't even know who's on bye. It doesn't matter. I don't think he is. No, they played New England. That's a shootout. We're going to go Sticky Bun. He might be able to beat his poor old man right now.
Oh, wow. That was, boy, you had to think about that one for a little bit. New Denver versus Savs.
Yeah, that's a good matchup, man. Savs having some problems up there at quarterback. You got Travis Taylor rolling into, or Tyrod Taylor, rolling in to play the Jets this week. But, matchup-wise, don't love it. Kind of be interesting to see what he does with luck. I'm just, without even looking at New Denver's team that much, I'm going to say New Denver. It's going to be a tough week for Savs this week.
Yep. Golden State versus Kelly Knights.
Well, Kelly Knights, man. I mean, Golden State can't win a game, obviously. So no more analysis required. Kelly Knights, man.
Reds Nuts versus defending Chump.
Because I really want to pick Revs Nuts here, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say defending Chump takes it. Sorry, Mark.
And the last matchup, Moose Knuckles versus Heroes for Hire.
Sam, your team's improved. It's a bit of a renaissance. The Rivers is on bye. Manny's going against the Chiefs, who won't win the game, even though they'll play him hard. You don't have enough to keep up with Moose Knuckles, even though you really, really, really need to win, man.
I do need that win. I do. Okay, cool. So I put down Moose Knuckles. Thanks everybody for joining in. Thanks, Commissioner, for getting your input in here. Now, Rob, when's a good time to talk about elimination and all that stuff? Is next week getting pretty close?
I'd wait till we get right back over to when we go back into interdivision there. So we got 2 more weeks, and then I think it gets interesting. We'll be able to see really kind of break it out, who's got a shot, who doesn't. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's always very interesting. I mean, I always like to hear your analysis on who is, the possible matchups, for playoffs.
Well, we can do that, but I'll give you 2 eliminated teams right now. I mean, this is going to be breaking news there, everybody. Get your notepad out. But Golden State and Brew Maniac will not be competing in this year's playoffs.
Golden State and Bruin. Okay, I can see that.
I told you, it's some deep analysis. They will not be competing in this year's playoffs.
That's guaranteed, people. You heard it here first. Guaranteed.
I think it might actually be mathematically guaranteed, or it's getting damn close to it.
I think it's mathematically. I think you're right.
Not quite mathematically yet, but it's getting damn close, man. I mean, he played 9 weeks and only won 1 game. It's
and an 8th spot. Yeah, and an 8th seed in the conference. So.
It's tough, man. But, we got a couple weeks till we get to that. Let's see how the next couple weeks shake out here. A lucky win here and there from a team, and everything changes. So it's obviously going to matter massively when you get back into the division. So.
Awesome. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. For Rob, I am Sam, and good luck, everybody. Put in your waiver pickups tonight. Thanks.
All right, Sam. Thank you very much, sir.